Welcome back to Great Sports Debates, and today we're going to try to figure out the top 20 NBA games of all time. So here we go. Okay, when I break down these games, some of the popular games may not be here. So I might not be emphasizing the playoffs and the finals as much as some people would do. And I have to say, I didn't research all these older games. I kind of tried to put this together off of things I was thinking of. So with apologies to some great games, maybe we can call honorable mentions, I don't have on the top 20 games Magic's 42, 15, and 7 to win the finals. It was a great game. He filled in for Kareem. But if we're being honest, there have been better finals performances and better playoff games. Also, you won't see the Russ 20-20-20 in here. Instead of looking at these triple doubles or these magical numbers like 20-20-20 where someone gets 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 21 assists, I'm going to put more weight on things that, might not be as symmetrical, like a 58-point game, 19 rebounds, and 18 assists. You get the drift. Plus, there's one 20-20-20 game that just cracked the list that you'll see at number 19. So with that said, I did my best to kind of look at these stats and rank them. Obviously, no one's going to agree. So let me know in the comments who I got right, who I got wrong, and who we missed altogether. At 20, I got Elgin Baylor. Now, I don't know if this is one of the top 20 games, but the fact that it happened in the finals, I had to include it. 61 is still the NBA record in the finals, which he scored that game. Although it wasn't on the greatest efficiency, he was 22 for 46. So, sub 50%, which isn't great, but definitely not bad for that era and time when he did that. And on top of that, he also had 22 rebounds, which is a pretty big number. He was also ultra efficient at the line, going 17 and 19. And of course, they didn't really have all the stats that they track today. He did have one assist in addition to that. Okay, at number 19, we got Wilt Chamberlain. And he also hit the 20-20-20 mark. Slightly better, slightly more efficient, with 22 points, 25 rebounds, and 21 assists, which is a career high for the Big Dipper. He also did this on 9 of 13 shooting at almost 70%, although as usual he wasn't super great at the line. And although this Wilt probably has several games better than this, this is one we wanted to get on the list just at that 20-20-20 mark. Another one along that same line at number 18, we got Michael Jordan. Now I already know a lot of people are going to say this game's too low. Honestly, in my opinion, he has a dozen games better than this. But it is still a playoff record when he scored 63 points in the sweep against Boston. Again, pretty efficient for a guard in MJ and having to do it all on his shoulders at that point. 22 of 41, just over 50% there. He was also ultra efficient at the line, 19 of 21 for over 90%. I don't believe he shot a three in that game at all. He also pulled in 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was doing it all at that point. He did have 4 turnovers, and they did lose the game, but it is one of the better playoff performances of all time. Again, there's stuff that I don't have on the list, like, when Isaiah dropped 25 and a quarter, or, LeBron scoring 25 in a row against the Pistons that might technically have been better games, but this is a landmark game we had to have on the list. At number 17 is a big scoring game for the Admiral David Robinson. He scored 71 points, I believe is the last game of the season, to win the scoring title, edging out Shaquille O'Neal that year. Although he was pretty efficient in doing that, he was 26 of 41 from the field, 1 for 2 from three-point land, and 18 of 25 from the stripe. He also collected 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks in a heck of a game. Although he did have a high turnover count in that game. I want to say he had like 8. So they were feeding him the ball. He was trying to score a lot. Still a great performance. At number 16, we move back to the playoffs. We got Sir Charles Barkley. One of the better playoff games, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. He had a big night, scoring 56 points on 23 of 31 shooting, which is about 75%. He was 3 of 4 from three-point land, which is 75%, and 7 for 9 from the field. The typical super efficient Chuck game. He also gathered 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block with only 2 turnovers in a big win for Phoenix. Jumping up to number 15, we have Dame Lillard. Now, again, this is another playoff game. Super efficient, especially for a guard. Dame went 17 for 24 for just over 70%. He was 12 of 17 from the three-point line. Again, just over 70%. 9 of 10 from the stripe. 6 rebounds, 10 assists, and a steal, as well as 3 blocks. 55 points in the first round of the playoffs. Not too bad. At number 14, we have Dame Lillard again. This time, probably his best game, where he dropped 71 points on 22 of 38 shooting. 13 for 22 of those on 3, actually shooting better at 3 at 59%. And a perfect 14 of 14 from the stripe. I remember this game clearly. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He didn't have any steals or blocks, but he did have only 2 turnovers. That's one heck of a game. At number 13, we got James Harden. He has a lot of games that are in this range, but this is probably his best one, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. He had 60 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists off a very efficient 19 of 30 for the field for 63.5%. He was only 5 of 14 from 3, but still managed to be really efficient, and 17 of 18 from the stripe for 94.4%. He also got 4 steals and a block in that game. At number 12, and it's Giannis. Now, Giannis, you could argue his 50 points to close out the finals, or any of several games from that series, should be up here. But this was a really strong game. 64 points, which is a career high, on 20 of 28 from the field. Again, over 70%. He didn't make any threes, but he was 24 of 32 from the stripe. He had 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block against just 4 turnovers. At number 11, we got Luka Magic. He can hit some big games, and he definitely did. This was just recently where he hit the 60-point triple-double with 60 points on 21 of 31 shooting, 2 of 6 from three-point land, and 16 of 22 from the stripe. He also had 2 steals, a block, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists. Or maybe I got that backwards. Against 4 turnovers. All right, now we're jumping into the top 10. And these are all big games. Again, there's other games that, we probably missed, or some older games, or some of, other guys' 70-point games. But this was an ultra-efficient effort for Karl Malone. He had 61 points on 21 of 26 shooting. I mean, we're talking about over 80% here. He was 19 of 23 from the line. Of course, he didn't shoot a 3. He had 18 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I don't think he got a block in that game, but only 2 turnovers. And in typical Karl Malone fashion, he put all that up in 33 minutes of action. All right, number 9. You could argue this is inflated with the recent era, but no one can deny a hell of a game for Donovan Mitchell. He had 71 points on 22 of 34 shooting, which is about 64%. What really boosted that up was the 7 of 15 from the three-point land and 20 of 25 from the free throw line. He added in 8 rebounds, 11 assists, and a block against 4 turnovers. At number 8, we got Joel Embiid. Embiid scored 70 points on 24-41 shooting. Well, not as efficient as some of these other games. It's still close to 60%. 1 of 2 from three-point land, and an unbelievable 21 of 23 from the line. He also grabbed 18 boards, dished out 5 assists, had a steal and a block against just a single turnover. This is why we always expected more from Embiid. He had some monster games and he's super talented, but he just hasn't fulfilled that potential. At number 7, we got Wilt Chamberlain. Again, there's a lot of games we could be using from Wilt Chamberlain, but we're throwing in here 73 points on over 60% from the field, 36 rebounds, and 0 assists. I'm sure with Wilt, he probably had a lot of steals and blocks as well. At number 6, moving into some of the greatest games of all time, again, we have Wilt Chamberlain. 78 points, 43 rebounds, 1 assist. Pretty big numbers. Now we're hitting the top 5. These are all-time games. The one at number 5, a lot of you probably don't agree, but if you're just objectively looking at the stat lines, Luka's 73 points was really impressive, whether you like him or not. The guy was 25 of 33 from the field. That's over 75%. He went 8 for 13 from three-point land, 15 of 16 from the free throw line. Plus he got 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and even had a steal in there against 4 turnovers. A really strong game. At number 4, we have his airness, which in my opinion is his best game. He went for 69 points, which was his career high, on 23 of 37 shooting, 62.2%. He was also 21 of 23 from the free throw line. He also got 18 rebounds as a guard, 6 assists, 4 steals, a block, and just 2 turnovers. And this is like 1990-ish peak of his powers. Now we're hitting the top 3. This is big game territory. At number 3, I once again have Wilt Chamberlain with a super impressive, counted out, quintuple double? Is that how you say it? Basically, he's got double digits in 5 categories. And we know if you look at it, he's actually done this in a lot of games. But one that's been counted and documented, he had 53 points on an outrageous 82.8% from the field. That's 24 or 29. 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 24 blocks, and 11 steals. Now, I thought about putting this at number 2, but it would be disrespectful to just the sheer volume of scoring that Kobe Bryant put up when he scored 81 points. I don't care if it's against Toronto Raptors. I don't care if it's against Little League. This was a hell of a performance. The man went 28 of 46 for over 60%, 7 of 13 from the three-point line, 18 of 20 from the free throw line, with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block against 3 turnovers. Now, again, I know a couple of these other games might seem like more all-encompassing, but 81 points is number 2 all-time in scoring. And finally, at number 1, what else could it really be? Again, like I said, I could have made this list and put like 10 Wilt games on here, but we got the 100-point game. He also went 28 from 32 from the free throw line that game, which is kind of that rare spot that helped boost them up and really go for it in the fourth quarter. He also had 25 rebounds and 2 assists. Who knows how many steals and blocks. He played the full 48 minutes like he normally did at that point in his career. And that's the list I have for the top 20 games. So I definitely know there's ones that I'm missing. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. So like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.